Wanna know the wacky mood too. I wanna know. And you're telling me just a rain. Telling me just a rain. Oh baby you. Oh baby you. You got what I need. Say just a friend. Say just a friend. Yeah. Oh baby you. Yeah. Got what I need. Hey, but you say just a friend. Hey, but you say just a friend. Oh. What up? What's good? Or whatever. It's the Frozen One, or Froze for short. And today we're going to be talking about my top 5 anticipated games of 2020. Now, this list has been made in the past, and some things probably got rearranged over time just because of my interests and, things have come out and videos I have seen to basically elevate things or demote things. So essentially, the list has been the same since I think the beginning of this year or maybe late last year, but some things may have gotten moved around. But anyway, this is my list. Now, this list is an opinion, just like every other list is an opinion. It's not fact. So I don't want everybody flaming me in the comments saying, bro, what's wrong with you? How do you put this game over that game? What's wrong with you? Look, it's my list. It's mine. Let me do what I want to do. All right, cool. So, starting off with number 5. Now, this game was always on my radar ever since they debuted it, but it became, more. It got to this spot. Like, it was always on my radar, but it was never in the top 5 until recently. So that's why I said some things kind of got rearranged. But that game is Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know if I'm saying that last word right, but it is what it is. Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going to put some video up on it. I'm going to put some video up from all these games that I'm going to be talking about. Essentially, it's a samurai game. It's like an open world samurai game that people say that should have been what Assassin's Creed. They want a samurai version of Assassin's Creed. They say it's supposed to be like that. Or they want Assassin's Creed to be more like this game is what they say and whatnot. And I mean, I see why, because the game looks amazing. The gameplay they just released of it just solidified me wanting to get this game even more. Open world games are my forte, I should say. Not that I'm good at them, just I enjoy them a lot. I like running around the world, exploring a lot of things, and completing missions, side missions. I like that. I like the grind. I like the exploration part of it. And then on top of that, the samurai game. There's sword fighting and arrows. It's just fun, bro. Very, very looking forward to playing this game. Next, number 4. We have Cyberpunk 2077. Now, a lot of people don't like this game just because it's first person and they think CD Projekt Red, who makes it, should have made it third person because that's just what they prefer, third person games. Like I said, I like first person, I like third person, I like games in general. It doesn't really bother me that it's not third person. Could it have been better if it was third person? Maybe, who knows, right? But it is what it is. I like this game, first off, because it was a first-person shooter. So, I mean, I guess I do want it to be first-person, but I liked it because it was a open-world game, first-person, futuristic, RPG-type game. I shouldn't say I like RPGs because that's going to be a little bit of a lie. I mean, I like RPGs, but not to the extent that, I'm going to play, Final Fantasy or Persona 5 or something like that, because I don't like... Those are like JRPGs, I think that's what they call them, right? I don't play those type. I like playing the action adventure type RPG games, and I feel like this fits in that boat. Maybe not, who knows, right? But it just looks interesting. It's a futuristic open world action adventure game. You upgrade your character, you do a whole bunch of stuff and whatnot, story driven. All that, it just looked very fun. I like the colors. I like the action. It just looked like a good game. Like I said, a lot of people don't like it because it's first person. I'm okay with it. So I'm looking forward to it. Next, number 3. We got that big boy, bruh. That big boy on the Xbox side. We got that Halo Infinite. Halo has been... Let me not lie to y'all. Halo hasn't been one of my favorite games since... It hasn't been one of my favorite games I've been looking forward to, but it's definitely a game that I enjoy playing. Now, I haven't beat any of the campaigns of the Halo. I know. Come at me in the comments. Come at me. I played some of the campaigns. I haven't beaten any of the campaigns. Not because they were too hard, just because I didn't feel like beating them. Back in the day when Halo was, more relevant than it is now, I didn't really care about beating games like that. I cared about just playing games with my friends. So, I mean, take it if you will. I mean, take it how you want to take it. I didn't play the campaigns, right? But I did play the multiplayer. I'm top 3 are the most trash people that play that multiplayer. But I like playing the multiplayer. I'm trash, but I like playing it. It's fun, right? That's all that really matters. So I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna play the campaign, but I'm looking forward to the multiplayer Halo Infinite. What they revealed at the Series X reveal or whatnot, Game Awards, whenever they revealed the gameplay of it, it didn't really look that like pleasing because it was just CGI. It's just a trailer. I mean, you know what Halo is. You know what to expect. It's just I'm trying to see some gameplay. So until I get the gameplay of Halo Infinite, I mean, my interest is going to be sustained at what it is now because it's Halo. I mean, I know what to expect from Halo, but it will probably get elevated or demoted depending on what happens when they do release the multiplayer. But as it stands, number 3 on my list is Halo Infinite. Next, number 2, this is going to shock a lot of people. It shouldn't shock you because if you've listened to some of my past, well, not some of my past videos, probably my last video, I spoke on this game a little bit, but you probably don't know how much I actually enjoy this game or the prequel to this game. And that's going to be Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 is supposed to come out in 2020. Who knows when it's going to come out? But Dying Light, the first one, if I had to rank a bunch of video games I played this generation, I would say Dying Light will probably make the top. It would definitely make the top 10. I'm trying to figure out if it'll make the top 5 or not. But Dying Light is one of my favorite games of the generation. People be like, ew, Dying Light. The game got like a 70 on Metacritic. Who cares about the rating? That game is fun. If you haven't played Dying Light, I wholeheartedly think you should download it and play it. It's worth the play. It's worth the play through. It's still running. I think it has like a good following in terms of the multiplayer, in terms of people just playing the game in general. Because the community, the gamer community and whatnot. I think it still has a good community surrounding it. Even now, and the game came out, in 2015? So, I mean, what does that tell you? I mean, people like the game, so it is what it is. Dying Light 2, based on what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be better than the first one. And the first one was already good, so why not? Why wouldn't I be excited for it? It was one of my favorite games this generation, so of course I would be anticipated, or of course it would be one of the anticipated games for me coming up in 2020. Now that's if it gets released in 2020. They say it's not going through what they call it, development hell. Is what they call it. They say it's not going through that, but I mean, who knows, right? It had a release date for the spring, and it still doesn't have a release date. It's delayed indefinitely. Hopefully, it still comes out in 2020, though. Looking forward to it. And last but not least, number 1. Now, if you let's see. I guess you don't necessarily have to be a gamer to know what this game is, but most gamers know what it is. Most gamers have had a bunch of criticisms about this game in recent times, but even with the criticisms that, come about of this game as of recently, the game is still highly anticipated for me. Maybe not for you, the people who got offended, but for me, it's still up there, and that's number 1. Which is The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 looks amazing. Now, people say, oh, the snow isn't all that great. Because one of the videos that I think Naughty Dog released, and it showed the snow animations not being... Who cares about the snow, bro? I mean, I'm not trying to knock how important graphics and physics and all that is into a game. Cool, we get it. But the game itself, that game is going to be amazing. Story-driven game. The first one, the story in The Last of Us in the first one, bro, you can't tell me another story better than that game. You probably can, but the story in that game is really good. The gameplay in that game, people sleep on it. I've seen somebody, I can't do this. I've seen somebody play The Last of Us like they're playing, I don't know, Gears of War, like just going through and just like, bodying people. To me, The Last of Us was supposed to be played more stealth-like, but they were going through that junk like they were playing Gears, bro. Look. When I saw that gameplay, I was like, oh, the gameplay must be fire. If you play it like that. The gameplay is still fire to me because I play most of my games stealth if I can. And it was still fire for me. But if you play it that way, there's no denying it that it's going to be great if you play it that way. Because the way they were going around handling it was nice. Anyway, what I'm getting at is The Last of Us was a good game. I've seen parts of The Last of Us 2 in terms of trailers and whatnot. It looks really good, bro. It's a really good-looking game, and it's really interesting. All the criticism, look, I'm staying away from spoilers, so all the stuff that came about The Last of Us, I'm not trying to pay attention to it. So all the stuff that may be controversial in The Last of Us, haven't heard of it. I'm probably heard something of it. Like I probably seen something alluding to what's going on in The Last of Us, But as soon as I see some Last of Us Part 2, spoiler, X. Like, I sign off of Twitter. I log out of everything. I'm done. Like, I'm not trying to be spoiled because some people, they just ruthless with it. Some people don't care about your feelings. They just want to spoil everything. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get out. Let me get out of here. I ain't trying to see that. So as of right now, I'm in the clear. And it's still my number one game that I'm very excited for. That's supposed to come out this year. They delayed it a couple times. Hopefully they keep it where it's at. Hopefully they do. But yeah, that's my list. Number 5, we have, just a recap, we have Ghost of Tsushima. I'm probably butchering that name. It is what it is. Number 4, we have Cyberpunk 2077. Number 3, we have Halo Infinite. Number 2, we have Dying Light 2. And number 1, we got The Last of Us Part 2. It is what it is, bruh. Let me know what you think about that list. You see I'm rocking the therapeutic headband LeBron had, one of a kind, therapeutic. Hey, don't tell anybody it's just a do-rag wrapped up. I just want to hide the line. My line crazy right now, friend. My line crazy. I got to get to the barber. But yeah, that's my list, essentially. Let me know what you think about it. And put your list down below in the comment section as well. Let me see, where your head's at and what games you're looking forward to. But anyway, that's all I want to talk about today. Let me know how you feel about that list and provide your own in the comment section below. But remember, you already